Good night, viewers, and welcome back to another great episode of Hotspot this week. I'm glad to have your company on this wonderful Thursday night, and I hope you're looking forward to another exciting weekend of sport wherever you are in the country. Coming up on the show a bit later on, we travel up the Highlands to speak to the Walgris Highlanders head coach Robert Upaiga in the NSL. They're doing fairly well this year, and we also travel down the highway to Lae to speak to Robin Tarere of the Scrum Association up there about their Trans-Tasman Highway 7s that'll be on a bit later on this month. But that's a bit later on in the show. Before we carry on, I'm here at the Aussies Bar to speak to the president of the PNG Rugby Football Union, Mr. Richard Sapias, to explain to us a bit about what happened here tonight. And I'm joined here now with a very happy president for the PNG Rugby Football Union, Mr. Richard Sapias, to explain to us a bit about what happened here tonight. Good night, Richard.
Good night, Cecil, and good night, viewers. Thank you for this opportunity to talk with yourself and on the program. Tonight was about an announcement for support from PacWealth, Pacific Wealth Capital, who is supporting PNG Rugby with 100,000 kina towards the men's sevens program over the next number of years towards the SB Games, and they come in as a support sponsor. Obviously, our major sponsor for the men's sevens is the SB Export Lager brand, but PacWealth come in as a support sponsor now. You mentioned 100,000 kina is a lot of money. Just explain, what will that money go towards in terms of our sevens? Yeah, obviously with the sevens program, as we're building up in terms of the preparation and the calendar going forward, there's obviously a lot of support costs. And this money goes towards supporting that. The sponsorship comes in the form of cash and kind. So part of that as well is John Eales, former Wallaby captain, is actually on the board of PacWealth. And part of that sponsorship is us PNG Rugby having access towards, with John Eales to support some of our programs. And that's going to be the details that will be announced at a later date. But basically this covers John Eales' involvement as far as what we want to do in building our rugby network with PNG Rugby, and also supporting various other areas of the program. So
great news there, especially with John Eales. Exciting times, not only for sevens in the country, but also with the 15s as well, and for PNG Rugby as well.
Yeah.
A few tournaments coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. With as you're aware, last year with the big sponsorship with Monia, and obviously with our brand now with the Monia Puk-Puks, which will be participating in the Oceania Cup later this year. So we're certainly very excited. There's a big build up now. The program is really starting to come together, and certainly, as I said, we're developing more of a medium to long term view with where we want to take the code. And with that, obviously, means that we need sponsors who are going to be part of a program, not just on a 1 year basis, but be part of certain aspects of the rugby program for the next number of years, so they can see their money grow with the program. So,
thank you for that, Richard. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we close out?
No, just say thanks a lot for your support this evening, and thanks for coming along. So, thank you.
Thank you. There you have it. Very happy Mr. Sapias there. Well done to the PNG RFA and of course to PacWealth for their sponsorship. Please join us after the break. We've got a lot more coming up, but we travel up to Lae to speak with Robin Tarere and his boys out there with Scrum.
Welcome back, viewers, to Hotspot. We now join Robin Tarere of Lae Scrum, who tells us more about this year's Trans Highway Sevens tournament.
The reason long postponement long tournament is because long preparations with the shortfall of some sponsors. We're going to sit down this week to ensure that we get the best team to come over and participate in this tournament. We're looking at provincial teams that are affiliated to PNG Rugby, so that players are well prepared and trained for this coming tournament. This Trans Highway has been around for the last 8 years. Scrum has been the major sponsor of the tournament. but we want to get some more other sponsors on board to make it more attractive and not only the prize money, but we want to make sure that this is one of the best tournament in PNG, hosted by Morobe. One of the reasons is we want to get all our clubs better prepared so that they come and compete at a very high standard of sevens competition. The reason why we want the provincial teams to come, select the best teams so that we can give our clubs and our Morobe sides some competitive games, and not just putting together teams and coming and attending this tournament. We want to be, it will be sanctioned by the PNG Rugby, and we want PNG Rugby to also recognize this tournament as a grounds for them to select, a tournament for them to select players as well. So that's why we want the best teams to come to this tournament. We are expecting Kimber Rebels, who are the champions, and also Medang. Our expectation is also we're trying to get the PNG Barbarians, which is the national made up of the national players, to come and attend this tournament, so that we raise the standard of this competition at this tournament, so that we got a lot of young players here in Morobe who needs to be exposed to a very high competitive tournament, and that's our reason why we part of this deferral of this tournament, to ensure that clubs are prepared and other provinces also are prepared for this tournament.
Welcome back to Hotspot. Now we have the pleasure of speaking to head coach of Wellgris FC. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Upaiga.
You're welcome.
Okay, tell us a bit about Wellgris FC for this year.
All right, Wellgris FC, I'm all young boys brought up the Highlands, especially players from Highlands. We try and breed them all up the Highlands, and we keep them all out of the Hagen.
Okay, could you tell us a bit about your boys? Do you have some new players, some experienced players in your team?
Oh yes, right. Me having about eight good players below Wellgris. Stawanta me, majority all new ones. That's all.
Okay. So far into the season, you happy with the boys' performance?
Oh yes, me almost big blow almost was they're new and meeting all by not meet him standard when me like him long, but otherwise all game best blow. Me almost right long.
You add to the Upaiga name to the sport of soccer. I understand Koryak in Hekari is your brother?
Yes, I'm brother Blumi. He's the last born.
You proud of his achievements so far with Hekari?
Yes, I think the whole family, everyone maybe have. Talks about the best to you. Every player has to give the best and make him the company. Plus, good more, a big player, and run him up.
Okay, is Wellgris FC planning to give Hekari FC a run for their money for this year's season?
Oh yes, I think yes. Maybe I'll give him a big blood challenge now. I'm going to give him long all this year. I'm going to master and best play blood this year. Walk him through, play one to more can this year. Thank you.
Your recent game was over the weekend against runner-up Eastern Stars. You managed to draw them. Good result for you?
Yeah, good result. Some credit goal all boys to me. I think well done, boys. I must relish the game. Thank you.
Well, what are you looking at in terms of improving for the boys? What are some areas that you'd like the boys to improve on?
Oh, I think the area where me need to improve him, that's on defensive side. Me work long just maybe 2 days now, but me try to prepare was like 2 days defensive side, but me work long. No.
What are your goals for Wellgris FC? You gonna be still involved in NSL for next year?
Oh, sila sad ba min naman, but it depends the sponsor. So sponsor will give me bla work hard, then no like give me bla, all can give me bla no kat. Well done, me bla can look la some bla sponsor, so I'll give me bla next year. Thank you.
Also, in your own opinion, which team do you think will give Hekari a run for their money?
I think Besta will be one of them. But give them challenge long Hekari, Besta, and maybe Eastern Star. Maybe my tips and something like that.
Well, thank you for speaking to us, Coach, and we wish you all the best for this season.
Thank you very much.
All right, we'll go for a break now. Don't go anywhere. There's lots more coming up on the other side of the break.
Welcome back to the show, and unfortunately we've reached that time where we say goodnight, but before we go, here's a quick look at this weekend's draws. And there you have it, they're the draws for this weekend. I hope you all get your tips correctly, because I didn't get mine right at all. But stay safe, play fair, and we'll see you all same time, same place next week.